Well, it's almost 5:40 a.m. here in rural Retreat, Virginia we're here in the main lobby of the Hotel Orloff. Some call it the Gratu Orloff Memorial Ballroom. And it's early in the morning, but we're up watching cartoons, of course. As some of you know, I was commissioned by a famous YouTube influencer, or as some people call it, YT. YT. The cool people call it YT. But anyway, I was commissioned by this famous influencer named Meyer Greenblatt, and he wanted me to paint a cover on a blank cover of Absolute Batman #1. So I've done that, and then last night he's saying, well, because he wanted it to be Batman and Robin at the Bohemian Grove, right? So the way I painted it, it's not really. It's you really can't tell it's Bohemian Grove, honestly. So he said, could you put something on there to show that it is Bohemian Grove? So a little blurb. So I did this. Hold on, let me get it in better light, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Okay, let's see if we can get this in high definition. Okay, so all that was there was the logo, and this is the trade dress, the DC logo that looks like the logo from the late 70s. And then the logo is the title of some people get confused and think it's, well, I won't get into that argument. But anyway, here's Batman with spikes on his boots, basically opening up the throat of an evil person. That's supposed to be the Moloch owl statue that they have the little cremation of care ceremony every year. Although it's not supposed to be a real sacrifice, I think they have like a little doll that they pretend to sacrifice. All these millionaires and billionaires show up there in this forest every year. It's only guys that are allowed. I think women are allowed to come in if they're, well, we won't get into that. But anyway, Bohemian Grove. It's where the elite meet to plan out what they're going to do to us, sort of. I think I need to change that a little bit. So it says Bohemian Grove now, but I think there's too much space next to the N, so I may alter that like right now. That's the problem, is you have this in your possession too long, you keep wanting to make changes. I added a little bit of yellow glow to the side, on the side of the moon monster. That's the thing. You constantly look at things and you say, I could have done that better, and you want to tinker with it. The danger of that is if, I'm not going to compare myself to Frank Frazetta, but he would have all these paintings that were, iconic paintings that everyone loved, and then he'd look at them and say, man, I could have done that better back in 1966, and let me change that form of that girl there, or that. And then he winds up passing away, and some of these paintings no longer look anything much like what they did when they originally put on the front cover of those paperbacks, or creepy or eerie. Hold on. Okay, I think I fixed it, but I don't know if that's even something you can tell. Hold on. Yeah, I can't get it just perfect, man. And in all honesty, nothing's ever going to be perfect. Because the only person that could paint this cover perfectly would be Jesus Christ himself. But, anyway, and then the Moon Monster back cover. This is, again, a commission for the famous influencer Meyer Greenblatt. No, I should know better than to have the Spider-Man cartoon playing in the background, because all these Disney, the evil Disney Corporation has bought up. Oh shit! I got to be careful because Disney has bought Marvel, and so if you have the Disney cartoon playing, just the sound in the background, they can issue a copyright claim. You'll have to chop that part off of your YouTube videos. Isn't that amazing? Just having it playing in the background. We own that. You had nothing to do with the creation of it. That was the Grand Trey Lawrence studio in Canada in 1967, but now you own it. So people can't even just have it as in the background as ambient sound, because it happens to be the cartoon that I am watching on this beautiful Sunday morning February the 9th, 2025. We've got Valentine's Day coming up on Friday. That's nice, having a Valentine's Day on a weekend, not Friday night. That's very good. Nice and romantic for all you young lovers to go out on a date, and Valentine's Day, Friday night. Yes, incredible. My wife doesn't work on Friday, so that works out fantastic. Anyway, I've got to go eat breakfast, so come along with me, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head on up. Sprinkle some Parmesan on this. This is something Gilgamesh used to do in ancient Samaria. Put Parmesan on his scrambled eggs. Speaking of eggs, see these posts. The price of eggs are more expensive than they were 2 weeks ago. President Trump, you've been a complete failure. Like that was the only reason people voted for Trump. Well, maybe it had something to do with the fact that under the last presidency, millions and millions of chickens were executed. So, of course, eggs are going to be more expensive. Well, perhaps it's the worst kept secret on YT. I don't know. Everyone's talking about that Elon Musk has supposedly spent $40 million of his own money to buy 5 commercial spots on the Super Bowl tonight, exposing a lot of the government waste and fraud that he has uncovered, which means that normal people that don't pay attention to the news but go watch my Super Bowl are going to see to have their be awakened. We'll see if that happens. I don't know if that's true, but that rumor is spreading around. Oh man, Fantastic Four is playing. Disney. I don't think Disney owns this. I think Hanna-Barbera still owns this great cartoon. Fantastic. Oh my God, I call everything fantastic. I wasn't trying to be funny with calling the Fantastic Four fantastic. Well, it's 18 degrees outside, man. How are you guys doing? Doing great? Staying warm down there, Drusilla the dog. We've got some snow predicted probably Wednesday. So that's all right with me, man. I don't mind snow. It don't hurt nothing, man. I love snow. Yeah, man. Sometimes mysteries happen, riddles, conundrums, paradoxes. Why do I own this comic? I know I never bought it, so it must have been that I got a stack of comics from somebody and this was in it. But this is like everything I hate about everything in the world. Artwork like that. I guess this is a funny comic book for people that play Dungeons and Dragons. I assume. The Dork Tower. I don't know. No. Apologies to you if you think this is great. And to be quite honest with you, I've never read it. Maybe it actually is very funny and it's very insightful, making fun of I don't know, man. Looks kind of like Dilbert or something. Oh, boy. Wow. I don't know what the heck it is, but something horrible. Che Guevara. Yeah, it's really funny. Ugh, just horrific. I've got to get a better frame for this family portrait. That is just outstanding. And if you're ever in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I don't know if this place still exists, but it was still there 4 years ago. It's a good man. Get the quesadillas there. Just magnifique.
You will pay the penalty for your crimes.
Hey, what's he talking about?
He's going to do something to Reed.
Well, don't worry, gorgeous. I'll save your lover boy for you. Clobberonimo!
Here's the thing, getting rid of the World Economic Forum. Clobberonimo, that's a new one. The Fantastic Four was the comic that got me into Marvel superheroes. That was my entry point. Before that, I was just into the monsters. Tomb of Dracula, Monster of Frankenstein, Werewolf by Night. Oh, I fed the cat, but I haven't fed the dog. Let's feed the dog. Oh, look at this little sculpture I made in high school. How about that? It's a self-portrait. I need to take that down to the basement where other sculptures I made back then. All horrible. How about some lamb, Drew? Oh my God. There's some lamb. Bon appetit, man. Yeah. His dog is beautiful dog food made from human flesh. Okay. What are we doing here, man? What is the point of all this? Well, we're up here again. Okay.
Everything he touches turns to excitement in.
What do I want to do today? Where are the Silver Age? Oh, man. Where did those go?
Honor Blackman as Pussy Galore. Also starring Shirley Eaton, a United Artists release in Technicolor.
Oh, I see what I got to do here. Okay. Okay. Whoa. This is annoying. Okay.
How come whatever most of them don't like, we like most? Like brass on shoes. There's a store full of them at Comic Con. Shoes with big brass buckles and brass fingers. Brass on shoes. If it's your thing, well, you can do it at Comic Con for $8.99 to $10.99. Do your own thing. Do your own thing.
I need to get into the S's, man. That's probably right about here.
You have a mind to take a good licking.
Okay, this box starts with ROM number 37. What would be the best light? Over here, probably. Starts with ROM 37. Is that better light? I have no idea.
At the edge of the universe, 400 men and women are probing the immeasurable blackness of space. Their leaders are an Earthman with no fear and a strength
Bunch of ROM
with no
comics.
heart. Travel beyond our time and solar system
Ronin.
into new galaxies, into worlds beyond your dreams.
Scarlet.
Star Trek, every week in color on the
This
NBC.
is a great comic. If you don't know about it, Secret Origins. The early 70s, Secret Origins. There was another one in the 90s that Roy Thomas wrote. It had a lot of origins of Justice Society characters. It was good too, but I have a special fondness for this Secret Origins comic from like when I was in 3rd grade. This is the one I dearly love. Yeah, the first one has the origins of Superman, Flash, and Batman, and then the second issue, this is from the Nixon age of comics, Supergirl, Green Lantern, and the Atom's origins. And then, I think there's one that I'm missing. I can't remember. It didn't last very long. Number 3 is the origins of Wildcat and Wonder Woman. Number 4 is the origin of Vigilante and Kid Eternity. And 5 is the origin of the Spectre. Number 6 is the Legion of Superheroes and Blackhawk.
Hey man, the name of the Plymouth Fastback is the Barracuda.
I know. I can't pronounce Baccaruda.
Hey, that's a
And number 7, this is my childhood copy. This is a comic I bought in 3rd grade. It has the origins of Aquaman and Batman, and, well, Robin. It's the origin of Robin. And I hope that that was the end of it, and that I have the complete run. Because otherwise, I might have to seek out issue 8.
Yeah.
This is the other comic I was talking about, Secret Origins.
but I think we got a hit record.
And 75, this is probably actually from the 80s. Yeah, 86. This was a good comic. I guess it went into the 90s, I don't know. This says the origin of Halo and Batman.
Authentic Batman toys and games, new and exciting. Wow! Batman and Robin color portrait, $1. Batman Periscope, 77.
This guy you hear is Ron Chapman, who was a staple of Dallas radio.
77 cents.
Green Lantern and Sandman.
Exciting fun for $1.19.
I have 2 copies of that.
Milton Bradley, only $2.66.
3 copies, actually.
Batman and Robin button, 32.
Shadow Lass and Doll Man. They
Batman belt,
It's
only $1.
origins in this issue.
$3.99.
I have 3 copies of that one.
Big Penny stores, North Park,
And
Big
I have
South,
2 copies of this one.
Lancaster, Keystone, Dallas,
This has the origin of the Golden Age Flash and the Star Spangled Kid. And it says, now he is Skyman. Find out why inside. And Roy Thomas was doing all of these. This is part of his love for the Golden Age and for all vintage All-Star comics and the Justice Society of America. Always say of America. And don't ever say Justice League. Say Justice League of America. Don't say JLA. Don't say Justice League. That's part of the communist plot. Just to let you know, the commie pinkos don't want you to say of America. So always make them mad. Don't reduce it to just an A and an acronym. Say of America. That's why, Zack Snyder's just Justice League. Okay. Here's Phantom Stranger. I got a lot of duplicates of these. There's 2 copies of that. And then I have 2 copies of this one. It's because over the years these were in dollar bins, and I wasn't sure if I had them, and I bought them over and over again. That's what happens. But you know, all of you guys have little apps on your phone where you enter in everything so you know what you have. But in the old days, you didn't have those apps on the phone. So it's Challenges of the Unknown and the Golden Age Fury. Nightwing and Johnny Thunder. Issue 13. Spectre and Deadman. Sometimes they kind of group like characters together. Oh man. Well, maybe not here. Our Man and Warlord. I always like this cover. Who drew this? Adam Strange and Dr. Occult. Man, you don't need to see all these. What's wrong with you? Jonah Hex and the Black Condor. See what I mean? They're very like characters joined together. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll just keep flipping through. If I find anything amazing, it's the origin of the Doom Patrol. Notice it says 50 cents. These are inexpensive comics. Obviously, you can collect. They are. This is made to look Silver Age, but it isn't. It's made to look like an old 80-page giant. And they were smart enough not to put the barcode on the cover. They don't even put the price. I guess the price is on the back, which is another. It's neat. Whoever did the production design on that. Here's one that's not bagged and boarded. So yeah, they put the barcode on the back, and it's $4.95, which originally these things would have been, as you can see there, they would have been a quarter back in the 60s. These are 2 real ones that they have ads for, and this is a fake one. But inside, it's just it's great. It's a fantasy. What if there was back in the 60s they had done the secret origins of all of these characters. And I don't think these are super expensive to buy. Oh, here they're calling them the Justice League without the of America. Why do they have to do that? Birth of the Atom. Yes. Excellent. Well, how was this sold to people? I need to look this up because this one says issue number 8. I'm wondering if there's more of these out there that I don't have. These actually could just go on a shelf. You don't need to bag and board them. They don't really need to be bagged and boarded. You could put them on a bookshelf. This was a great comic. It would be easy to build a run of these because it didn't last long, but I don't have one. I have starting with issue 3. I had limited allowance back then. And this one is a childhood copy, number 4, not bagged and boarded. I know I am a Philistine. Yeah. So I have 3, 4. So obviously I need 1 and 2. Here's 5. Someone was asking on Facebook, they had a picture of the Joker number 1 from about 1974, and they said, is this the first time a villain was given top billing in their own comic? And people were arguing about that. But that Joker comic was before this Villain Society joined together. Number 6. Then I'm missing 7, 8, and 9. Here's 10. I have a couple. My other 10 is actually bagged. Then I have issue 13. This ran for over a year. And ooh, this is beat up, but It's interesting. It's a 1977 annual special. And look at this. Someone hand wrote there on the spine, number 6, 1977. What do they mean, number 6?
You're pulling my arm. The producers, the most exciting and perhaps
I don't know what they mean.
ever released. Now available on RCA.
This is based on a toy line, the Sectars. I just thought that was. I thought it's the only one I have. I bought it because I think the cover looked cool. The printing of this time period is very bright. When is this? Let's see. January, I think that says 86. This was like in the quarter bin. See there, Lone Star Comics stamped it. That indicates that it was there. It was a comic they couldn't sell.
And the beauty isn't only skin deep. Barracuda has plenty of beef.
I doubt the actual action figure looked like that.
Wild attraction number 2. Barracuda hardtop, America's lowest price sports.
Bob Guccione designed it. Okay, then I have this is my beginning of the Bronze Age for Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos. It's a reprint of an early, 60s issue from the Kennedy age of comics. But this is a Nixon age of comics. Yeah, this is in very good shape. Got a color breaking fold there. It's not my fault. I didn't buy this comic when it came out. They were doing something weird in the 70s. They would have a reprint from the 60s, and the next issue would be a new story. Then the next issue would be a reprint. They would alternate months, reprints, and new stories. And it was confusing because they'd use the same artists that were working in the 60s, so sometimes it was hard to tell if it was a reprint or not. But anyway, that's issue 100. I think that's a new story. 111. I don't have many of these. I should have more. I have a lot more of the 60s era from the LBJ era of comics. Here's 112. Okay, why am I going through this box? There was a reason. I was going to file some books. Submariner, Son of Satan, Shanna. Let me pull out my S books that need to be filed. Sergeant Rock. Swamp Thing, Time Warp.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Lincoln Mercury special value winning.
Could you leave it under the door? Hey, lookers, now we've got the winners and all. Lincoln Mercury leads the way.
I was a winner once. I won a dog sled. My dog prefers to ski.
Ah, we had an all new Montego this year.
Okay, fantastic. Shade the Changing Man, number 1.
Because it's so easy to drive and spell.
And the special value Montegos are great buys now at your Lincoln Mercury dealer's
Here's
special
some good
value
stuff.
sale.
Montego's here, drive a winner this year. Why do you
Some of my favorite comics didn't last long. This revival of The Shadow from the Mike Kaluta cover, that's probably 1972. That was when I was in 3rd grade. I'm sorry, 2nd grade. I don't have issue 2, really? Ooh, that's a goal. Here's issue 3. I don't know why I don't have issue 2. I just never encountered it, I guess. Issue 4. I have a hardcover book that reprints all of these comics. Maybe that's why in my early years I didn't focus that hard on getting issue 2. Here's issue 5. This is the first one I bought off the newsstand. This is my childhood copy.
Take a
10.
1969 Buick Skylark Custom Sport Coupe and make it greater than ever. So we added special items and special savings.
I'm looking at this one. I'm trying to remember if this is a childhood copy. I think it is.
Now you add it all up and just
Yes, it is.
resistance goodbye.
Man, this art is so good. There's not many people today that can draw like this. Count Dante, the deadliest man alive. Count Dante is the undefeated Supreme Grandmaster of the Fighting Arts. Count Dante won the World Overall Fighting Arts Championship, Master and Expert divisions after defeating the world's top masters of Judo, Boxing, Wrestling, Kung Fu, Karate, Aikido, etc. in death matches. On August 1st, 1967, the World Federation of Fighting Arts crowned the Count the world's deadliest fighting arts champion and master. And you can become a member of the Black Dragon Fighting Society. I wonder if you could get one of those membership cards on eBay for the Black Dragon Fighting Society. That would be neat. First DC gave you these guys. Then they gave you all these horror hosts. Now here's all their new characters they're introducing for 1975, 74. Justice Incorporated. That would be the Destroyer. Claw, Tor, Stalker, Warlord, Beowulf, Kong. They're never going to bring the Stalker back because that name has different connotations now than it did in the mid-70s. Oh my gosh. Oh, another copy of the same issue. And then that was, I don't know how long that ran. They brought the Shadow back as this. And it wasn't as good. I don't think so. I mean, this artwork is not as good as what you were looking at, was it? So, and they kept bringing the Shadow back. Oh, this was a pretty good, very nice artwork in this attempt to bring the Shadow back. Okay, here's what I was looking for.
Scott Heney at WMEW-FM, Metro Media Stereo, New York. The Woodstock Music and Art Fair, the 3-day Aquarian Exposition, will be held at White Lake.
Is Shanna the She-Devil. This is issue 1 with this great artwork by Jim Steranko. And that one I have. Happily have 2 copies of that wonderful artwork.
Jefferson Airplane, Mountain, Santana, and The Who. On Sunday,
Shanna, number 2. This is Jim Steranko. Steranko had given up comics, but he kept coming back and doing a few covers for Marvel. Not stories, but covers. And I think he was doing it for, as I recall, he was doing, well, this is about the time he did do, he created the FOOM, Friends of Old Marvel fan club. He did all the production design, did the production design on the first few issues of FOOM magazine and designed the poster and everything. And then he'd do a few covers, but he had stopped doing the stories. And I think he was getting paid they gave him free advertising space in the Marvel Comics to sell his media scene. Well, it was Comic Scene magazine, then it became Media Scene, and then it became Preview. He was doing at first it was devoted to comics, then it was devoted to all kinds of stuff that fans would be into, and then it got into just general Hollywood stuff. And that way he could interview people like Bo Derek and stuff. Issue 3, a beautiful cover. It's not Steranko, but maybe I should have given the guy in that Absolute Batman cover that was trying to trying to sacrifice Robin to Moloch. Maybe I should have put a bull head on him. I didn't even think of that. Issue 4. Again, this is just a beautiful comic. And number 5. I think this was the whole run. They just ran 5 issues, which is sad. But they apparently did a Shanna comic that I was completely unaware of until a couple of weeks ago, when I got this issue 4 of a 7-issue series done by Frank Cho, and now Kevin has gotten, well, this is issue 4. So now he got 5 other. Well, he got 6 of these. One of them was the one I already have. So I'll have, once I obviously get them from him, I'll have almost the whole series. I'll be missing, I think, issue 1, I think, is the one he said he didn't have. But I always liked this character. I love Sheena. I love, imitation of Shanna. I love Jungle Girls. I just can't afford the comics. I wish I could. If I should have devoted myself to a more narrow niche of comic collecting, like Jambo did, and just then have just an explosion of Jungle Girls. But
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4,
oh well.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Here's a really nice copy of Shazam #1. But in all honesty, there's a lot of really nice copies out there because all these college-age comic collectors were thinking this is going to be a priceless comic someday. That C.C. Beck came back to, Captain Marvel, and it was just one of those things where you really can't come home again. It just, C.C. Beck hadn't done it since the early 50s, mid-50s, right? And it's almost 20 years later, and DC, who had run him out of business and ripped away Captain Marvel in a lawsuit saying that Captain Marvel was stolen from Superman, and then they won the lawsuit, and the Captain Marvel comics were shut down. And then he was out of a job. And then years later, the people that run you out of a job hire you to come back and draw that character. You're going to be... And he was a salty old cuss, C.C. Beck. He was always writing very sarcastic, angry stuff. Him and Alex Toth were very opinionated young men. Anyway, this is issue 1, and it's got a couple of color-breaking spine ticks there. But other than that, this is like a mint copy. But these were on spinner racks, so they were gonna always get those problems. Here's issue 2. I mean, they couldn't put Captain Marvel up there because Marvel had, in the intervening time, around 1966, Marvel put out a Captain Marvel comic and took. But they could still. Here's another copy. They could still put the original Captain Marvel. Now they don't even do it. Now they just call him Shazam, which I think is pathetic. This one is another. It's got some bug chew. Ugh. That's something I hate. That's a real pet peeve. I don't think I have the whole run. No, see, I'm already missing. What was that, issue 2? Yeah. I'm already missing issue 3. Here's issue 4. And then I'm missing 5. Here's 6. These all, what you're looking at here, predate the TV series. That started maybe a year later. We're probably, this one's got some chew too. So if you ever see on mycomicshop.com that says chew, that's what they're talking about. Okay. But issue 9, this is my childhood copy. This is the first one I bought. The other ones I got obviously later. By this point, it was on TV.
from around the Mississippi Gulf towns.
It's almost like they brought it back and they already had the deal to do the TV show. But I don't know that for sure. That's just me speculating.
I'm Dave Letterman in Indianapolis.
Oh, this is David Letterman back in the 60s on a radio. Number 12. You may not have known he started as a radio DJ.
This is the sound of a space clock aboard a U.S. satellite 180 miles above.
These 100-page spectaculars would have reprints from the Golden Age, so that was really great.
A battery that delivers power for years without replacement.
This just didn't. I mean, the whole spine's pretty much gone on that. The TV show was successful with kids, but the comic, the art of C.C. Beck, which I think is wonderful, I don't think it went over well with the comic collecting people in the early 70s, because they had gotten used to Neil Adams and that kind of more realistic style. But I always... What? Why is this? These must have been from the same collection. This issue 13 and this issue 14 where the spine's gone. There must be some bug that finds the glue really yummy that ate the spines off of those. Okay, so I don't know. Those probably came from the same collection. Man, what's going on? This is issue 15. Maybe this is from the same person's collection because it's got part of it gone too. How weird. Weird. Okay, what do I need to file here? Superfly Superman, Swamp Thing, Time Warp, Son of Satan. I need a clock up here. I'm going to bring the wrestling clock up here. This is issue. So, okay, I got to get Submariner and True Believers in here. Let's go get a clock. I don't know what time it is, and I can't take it anymore, man. Let's go. Okay, gotta stand up. Maybe I should edit this out. Look at Drew in her new Temu bed. Or Temu, or however you're supposed to pronounce that Chinese communist company. Okay, so it's actually not quite 7 a.m. But I've got this clock over here, and it's light activated, and so it doesn't talk because there's no light over here. So if I move it, come on. Let's see if the battery's still working. Okay. Still working.
That's what you call poetic justice, Avenger. They built the magnetic robot, and now they're stuck with it. Come, we've got to notify the police.
Now see, it's not talking unless light's shining on it. It actually needs a new battery. It sounds like to me. I saw some batteries around here. Oh, here's some batteries. Wait, I don't know if the battery... Yeah, I don't know what batteries. These are cheap-ass batteries. Let's replace all of them. One battery. This is from 1999.
Cajun McChicken sandwich, a spicy Cajun chicken patty with lettuce
all this entertainment, and now Linda McMahon's going to be running the Department of Education. Let's see. Now it needs bright light is the problem.
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking? That's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so. You can look all you want, but keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, that sound doesn't sound too good, man. What's wrong with your sound? Maybe it's finally wearing down after all these years.
Shut your mouth, jabroni. Put your crime better up. Give you something to cry about.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is a good one coming up. No, it didn't even do it because I don't have it pointed at the light. How much damn light do you need to activate? Okay, let's get this clock to the right minute. It's 7:15. So the minute hand is pointing towards Sable. Okay. I wound up putting that in the kitchen, that wrestling clock, because it works best, as I recall, in the kitchen. Because when you're in there and the lights are on in the kitchen and that thing starts talking to you, it's kind of timed perfectly. It will say, can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Right around 5 o'clock when people are normally cooking. So it works out well. So instead I got this 70s clock for up here. Okay. Except I can't tell what time it is to set this thing, but I can approximate it. Hour. 3, 4, 5, 6. And minute. It's probably about, wouldn't you think it's about 6:50 now? Well, 6:51. All right, so now I've got a amazing time piece that will tell me what time it is. Okay, back to what we were doing. Okay. Ron to Shazam. This one says Shazam. This is heavy. Man, I gotta go to all short boxes. One of these days, man. One of these days. Oh. It looks like I put some comics in here just to fill up space. Weird. Yeah, these are some Wounded Wonder comics. You used to get these packs, this thick bricks of comics at Lone Star Comics, and they were completely sealed, so you really couldn't tell what they were, but they said, we guarantee there's nothing more recent than 1980 or 75 or something. They're all older comics, but they were comics they couldn't sell that were in this kind of condition. And you get it for like $10. You didn't know what you're going to get. Sometimes I got EC covers in there, like that Vault of Horror over there. All that was the cover, but it's sure cool to have an EC cover you can frame up. But you didn't know what you were going to get. And sometimes you just got things that were in such bad shape. And then you wound up with all these books. I don't know what to do with it. What do I do with a Lois Lane? It looks like that. Ugh. So what I do is when a box has some empty space, I sometimes fill it up with some of these Wounded comics. You know, or there's a Hot Stuff comic that has no cover, plus some kid was coloring on it with a marker and tears. You know, it's like, I just thought it'd be funny to send these things off to CGC and see what they'd give them. Here's an early Star Wars comic. It's probably like issue, what would you think? That's probably about issue 2 or 3, maybe 3. What's going on? Where does it say it? Oh, this is even a reprint of, yeah, this is one of the reprints. They kept reprinting these early ones. But based on what's happening in the movie, this is probably like the 3rd issue. This is where they're in let's see how they handle the cantina scene. It's been a lot of years since I read these. This is probably about when the movie came out. They were already 3 or 4 issues into the into it when look how they drew Chewbacca. They were already quite a ways into the movie with the adaptation when in fact it looks like they didn't really have good photos of what all the aliens in the cantina were going to look like, because they don't really seem to show them very much in this comic. Yeah, the cantina scene just kind of glosses over all those great aliens. Here's a Brave and the Bold 78. Yeah, it's just all tore up. You know, but they're readable. This one's all intact. It's just kind of nasty. But I love this art style. That's so great. God bless you, Dick Sprang, and all of you guys. You know, Bob Kane didn't draw anything. People get on Stan Lee's case, man. Stan Lee really, you can read those comics and hear Stan Lee's inner voice. Writers, I don't mean you hear his obnoxious New York accent. I mean, voice, a writer has a voice, you know. You read Hunter S. Thompson, you read Mark Twain. Oh, I can tell that's Hunter S. Thompson. Clearly, just I read one sentence, I can tell his style. It's like you can hear someone talking to you when you read it. And Stan Lee, you know, people say, well, he didn't do anything. They came up with a plot. Yeah, they came up with a plot, but Stan Lee gave the dialogue, made it come to life. Okay, so anyway, enough of that. But Bob Kane, he was a total fraud. He didn't draw anything. It was Jerry Robinson, all those other guys. Okay, here's the rest of the Shazam comics. You don't need to see those. I bought this when it came out. It was a great comic. I know they made a terrible TV show. It's kind of always going to taint it, like the Howard the Duck movie taints the Howard the Duck comics, unfortunately. But I always preferred the Savage She-Hulk to the glamour model thing they later did. I thought this was more interesting. Man, I don't have issue 2. I have 1, 3, and a bunch of copies of issue 4. Then I have 5. Don't have 6. 7. There's a great one. I don't know if it's in this run or if it's in Marvel Team Up, where you see the She-Hulk's driving a car and it says She-Hulk on the license plate. I always thought that was brilliant. Issue 8. It's weird how in my memory I always remember the Man Thing as being green, but when I look at the old comics, he's usually brown with green highlights. It's weird how your memory, maybe it's the Mandela effect. Bunch of She-Hulks. And then she got her own comic from John Byrne. Yeah, it was fine. It's just a little too cutesy. I don't like the breaking the fourth wall stuff. It's I guess some people love that, but a little too cutesy. This is where parody of the Demi Moore cover of, what is it, Vanity Fair or something, where she posed pregnant. Yeah, a cover like that is kind of obnoxious, you know. Come on. Yeah. This, I have to admit, was a very nicely designed cover. Look at that. I complain about 90s foil covers, but this is kind of nicely done. The embossment, I don't know. Well, some spine ticks. That's someone trying to imitate Neil Adams' style. Okay, final issue. Oh, it's a throwback to the first issue, isn't it? It's hilarious, isn't it? Look at that. How about that? And he got paid to draw a new cover. That's kind of smart, actually. Well, it's all right. Wonderful. I bought this. I can't believe it, but She-Hulk, I Married Man-Wolf. What else is this? The all-new Savage She-Hulk. I guess they brought She-Hulk back, and then they started during the end of the pandemic. They brought it back. Everyone said, this new book is really good, and I picked up a few issues, and then I moved, and I couldn't keep buying it because there were no comic stores near me. But everyone said this was good. All the people I trust, Eric Breen and everything. I actually haven't read it yet. Someday, when I don't have to work 2 jobs during my retirement, maybe the economy will recover to the point where I wanted to do that. Sherlock Holmes #1, and I don't know why I didn't. Was there ever a second issue? Because I was really into this when it came out, like end of 4th grade, maybe. Why didn't I ever get any subsequent issue is my question to you. Shogun Warriors #1. And there's 2 and 3. Oh, I was buying it for 4. 5, then I'm missing 6 and 7, then I have 8, then I'm missing 9. Yeah, I have 11. Oop, there's 10 out of order. What is going on? Oh, I have 2 copies of 10. Well, this is the difference. This is a newsstand copy, and this one here is what you would get at a comic book store. They just drew a line. They just had a line there. And they have a diamond symbol. Yeah. Did they do the diamond because it was Diamond Distributing? I'm wondering. I don't know. What do I know? I just know I hated all of that. I wish comics were still on newsstands. Because when comics started to be distributed through comic stores, it seems like that's when things went kind of bad. Okay, this is when they brought back Showcase. And Doom Patrol came back. There's the Power Girl issue. What am I trying to put in here? Okay. Yeah, this was Those were the days, my friend. I remember buying these at, what was it called? G. Sanders Books? Or was it, yeah. I don't remember what that bookstore in Pantego, Texas was called, man. I went there several times a week. Oh, come on, man. This is pretty great. Joe Kubert coming back to Hawkman. I mean, just, if you cover that up, you know, it almost looks like you're looking at a 12-cent 1960s comic. It's so great. Yeah, just got to cover that up and it looks vintage, doesn't it? Then they have this interesting comic about the OSS. And that's the end of that. Did they go on after issue 104? Then in the 1990s, they brought this ugly mashup of 1990s ugliness. But it's a showcase comic, Showcase 93. But they have a different numbering. They start over with issue 1. Yeah, just ugliness. Everything about the 1990s, just compare that to that Joe Kubert cover I just showed you. You just tell it's just ugly. All right. Okay, here's the Silver Age Classics. Yeah, this is how they did facsimiles back in the old days. And I just bought it. Yeah, I just got a copy of that. I think it was this one. Let me put it in the box. No, it's different. This is DC Comics Millennium thing. How many times do I need to have a reprint of Showcase number 4? You know what? I guess I could. Should I just put this? Let me just put this with the Showcase comic. I'll just put this right in front of, right behind Shogun Warriors and in front of that. Why not? Makes no sense, but might as well. What the hell is this? Oh, I must have gotten this because it's Gene Colan art. I don't have any idea what Silver Blade is. I don't know. This is a comic I like. And it's 1990s and it has everything I always say I hate. But it's, yeah, it's, what do they, wasn't there a joke about Playboy for the blind? You know, what's the Braille version of Playboy like? Maybe it's like that. So you can run your fingers over. I don't know. Let's, but I always thought Silver Sable was a great comic. That's just a great. I like this. This is 90s, right? Or is it late 80s? 92, yeah. So I've got I got 4 copies of that. Yeah, I wonder if I have a complete run of Silver Sable. Catwoman was another 90s comic. Yeah, I didn't hate everything. And then pull out a few. Here's issue 3. This would make a cool movie. They would never do it. They would, you know. I would always get these in the dollar bins and never was quite sure if I had it. So I've got multiple copies of all these. 4. It's a comic nobody cares about and nobody remembers the character. I wonder if there's good action figures of this character. I'm sure someone must have done one. Here's 5. I'll have to ask Meyer about that. Here's number 6, teamed up with Deathlock. Number 7. Ooh, oh, I was going to say, I don't have 8, but I do have 8. Number 9. Ooh, the cover's starting to get ugly, man. They're starting to get a little too 90s. What's going on with her waist, man? That's, how did she do that? Even Vampira didn't have a waist that. This is a good cover. I think. It's like Glenn Danzig designed it. That's issue 10. What if I have a complete run? Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm always making fun of people that have complete runs of things because really it's just jealousy, you know, honestly. Like, well, you have a complete run. What do you have, OCD? No, it's me being jealous. Honestly, like, I wish I had complete runs of everything. I wish I could be rich like you guys and shop at the Gap and get all your pretty clothes. I'm missing issue 13, man. Here's 14. I bet I could get issue 13 pretty darn cheap. I'll have to ask Kevin if he has an issue 13 in his back issue bins. Oh, man. She must get her 10 at the same place Donald Trump gets it, man. And I'm not making fun of Donald Trump, but it is true that he had orange skin for a while. I can't deny that. I mean, as much as I love Donald Trump, I have to admit his hair was always pretty weird. But it's iconic. It'll look great. That ducktail will look great on Mount Rushmore. So you can just unsubscribe right now if you don't like that idea. 15. Okay, so I'm missing issue 13. What a horrible tragedy. I'm missing a bunch. Here's 16. Then I'm missing 17, 18, and 19. Here's 20. Oh. Oh, this was a great game. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. You ever play that game? That's a great game. It's still great. I bet it would still be great. I've got a Super Nintendo downstairs. I just need to fire it up one of these days. 22. Then I'm missing 23, 24, 25. You can see why you would, in a dollar bin, I don't know if I have that issue or not, because the covers aren't that different, really. Issue 27. Is that the end? That may be the end. That could be the end. Okay, yeah, man, this is when Silver Surfer meets heavy metal. I got Mobius. Yep. Oh man, I've got the complete run of the 2 issues of this 2-issue miniseries. And then they kept trying to bring Silver Surfer back. They could never make this comic sell. I mean, it's a great comic and everything, but anyway. Then they brought it back again. This run from the 90s that got a bunch of those. Here's another one of those 90s embossed covers. This thing, people were paying a little bit of money for this for a while because of Thanos in the movies, you know. How about that? Silver Surfer. Oh, but this run was fun. With Mike Allred art. But a lot of people would disagree with me. But I like Mike Allred. If I ran the comic industry, what is going on here? Is this the same comp? Okay. It's Silver Surfer #1, and then I've got another one that says #1. This is what it's going to be very confusing in the future for any comic collectors trying to figure out all the alternate covers. It's the same comic with a different cover. They were doing that shit even back then. When was this from? They don't even put the indicia in the right place in these comics. I think they put it in the back in these modern comics. Oh, what's in the back? May 2014. So that's 11 years ago. They were already doing the multiple covers. And some, I guess I got tricked into buying 2 copies of the same book, because I don't think I would have done that on purpose, by 2 copies. Anyway, here's issue 2. Yeah. It's just a good book. Silver Surfer. Yeah. Here's that monkey that apparently, I've got a bunch of these. I've got 2 of these monkeys. Apparently, Stephen King wrote a book about the monkey, and they're doing a remake about that. Is it Monkey Shines? I have no idea. I lost a lot of respect for Stephen King. His moronic self. Okay. Silver Surfer. Yes, indeed. And I forgot about this cover. I guess those are about, I think I see Jack Kirby there. I think it's all a bunch of people that work for Marvel there. It says Silver Surfer 200, and then it says number 6 up there. So I guess they're counting every Silver Surfer book that's ever come out. And then they counted up to 200. That's the problem when you just keep restarting your comics. You don't ever get up to the high numbers. See, then you look at artwork like this after you're looking at Mike Allred. That looks as stiff as my artwork. I don't know who that is. Anyway, Skeleton Warriors. Those were some pretty good action figures for a while. So apparently Marvel tried to do a comic of that. Skull the Slayer. I bought this when it came out. How could a 4th grader not buy that? Dinosaurs, skull in giant letters. But apparently I didn't come back for the next month, because now I have Skull the Slayer number 3. Damn, I've got to get Skull number 2. Skull number 4. And that's all I've got. How many issues were there? Were there 5? Someone will tell me. Here's a Smurfs comic I got for my wife, but it didn't get to her. It's in my box. So she never knew I bought it for her. So, funny how that works. Mike Allred, Solo. Solomon Kane. Why am I in this box? There's some S books. I need to file. So they're going to be up there, aren't they? Well, while I'm in this box, I might as well show you stuff. Oh, there was a Son of Satan. Yeah, Jambo sent me a copy of Son of Satan. And as a gift. And I think I already have it, but that's still a wonderful gift. You can never have too many. It was the Son of Satan. Again, it's one of those things. It's like, how was Marvel selling this to little kids, man? The Son of Satan. He was a good guy. He was rebelling against his father, but issue 2. This is when all the double stuff started to get hip with the hippies, in the late 60s. Some of the hippies got into weird stuff. Some became Christians. Here's the one that was given to me as a gift. Let me compare that. Okay. Yeah, it's nice. Some became Christians, and they called them Jesus freaks. And then There were some that got into witchcraft and all kinds of weird Crowley stuff. You know, it didn't help that the Beatles put Aleister Crowley on the cover of Sgt. Pepper, and like people, who's that? Man, you don't want to know who that is. But not knocking the Beatles or anything. I think they each put in names of people they'd like to see in the collage, and I don't know, probably John Lennon. I'm not knocking John Lennon, I just like putting Crowley there. Maybe it was tongue-in-cheek. This is special Marvel edition. They're reprinting, it's a great Severin cover, reprinting obviously Sergeant Fury. Number 6. These aren't valuable. You don't need to see those. Nothing to see here. Spectre. Spore of the Spectre. This is a great book that reprints the Michael Fleischer Spectre stuff, which is, they're even marketing it, representing the controversial classic series. Jim Aparo and Michael Fleischer. Yeah, he would make sure the bad guys were cut in half by scissors or just had horrible fates at the end. Speedball, which is an unfortunately titled comic, because Speedball is what killed John Belushi. I like the Spider-Girl series. There was good stuff back then that I liked. Spider-Girl was fun. It's supposed to be Peter Parker's married to Mary Jane, and they have a daughter, and she inherits the power of his. This is Peter Porker, the Spectacular Spider-Ham. I bought that when it came out. That was, how many are in this run? There's issue 2, 3. That may be all I've got. My oldest, wait a second. There's a Spider, I just remembered there's a Spider-Man I've got on hold with Kevin. Yeah, man, I've got to get that. I think I've got 4 or maybe 5 Spider-Man comics. I've got 2 Silver Age, First Mary Jane, issue 100. Then I have, I think, issue 105, and then a couple later ones. Anyway, but this is currently my oldest Bronze Age. To me, the Bronze Age starts, and you can argue, but you know, on my channel, the Bronze Age starts when this strip goes across the top and the corner box goes away, and or you could say when the comics go to 20 cents for DC and Marvel, that's when I consider the Bronze Age to start. So any comic I have of the Amazing Spider-Man that's 15 cents or 12 cents is going to be over here in these boxes, separated, because that was just part of I started that weird, I'm not the only one that does that, because there used to be a guy on YouTube called the King of Comicdom that did the same thing, separated them out. I think it might have been issue 106 that I have on hold. This is issue 107. This is 109. I won this in a contest from Night Tiger. He had I don't know what kind of contest it was. I don't think it was, it might have been trivia. It was some kind of contest about 3-4 years ago, and I won that. I know I was still living in Texas. Yeah, same thing with this one. This is a facsimile of 121, which was, I think, I still disagree with the killing of Gwen Stacy. Apparently I bought it twice. And 122. I was just talking to Kevin yesterday. We were talking about how many times they've reprinted the first Punisher, and I guess I'm about to find out, because I had him hold one for, because there's a new facsimile of the first Punisher coming out Wednesday. So he already has it, and he's pulled one for me. And he says, you probably already have this 5 times. And I said, I think you're right, but I think I want it again because I'm insane. This is 124. This was turned into a power record. There's a book and record set with this, a little 45 RPM record. Oh boy, I forgot to go downstairs, and I've recorded like a whole episode of Earthworm Jim because it's 7:22. I need to go downstairs, man. I got distracted talking to you guys and shit. Oh well. There's worse things I could have accidentally recorded. Okay, this is the next issue that is not part of the Power Records set. Boy, this is still a great time period for the Amazing Spider-Man. This is my very first Amazing Spider-Man comic. My mom bought this for me when I was homesick. She had no idea what I would want, and I wasn't really interested in superhero comics at that point. And I wasn't for a few months later. I got the Marvel Treasury Edition, the Fantastic Four issue, and then that made me realize, oh, all these Marvel superheroes must be just as cool as the monsters from Marvel. And then I went back and read that comic that she had bought for me. She was pretty good at that. She got the Man-Thing #1 she picked out when I was sick, and then she picked out Hulk 180 with the first appearance of Wolverine. At least I think it's the first appearance. Everyone that has 180, but they don't have 181, swear that's really the first appearance. Yes, I do. They apparently did this before when it was $3.99. Yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, I told them to hold it for me. I'll still buy it. It's $129. Here's 131. Okay, what's the next Spider-Man that I bought? Okay, I have 2 copies of 131. The next Spider-Man I bought as a kid. Okay, so 132. See, my mom bought me that, and then after I discovered, and then I went out and bought my first Spider-Man comic that I bought, that wasn't bought for me. We're coming up on it, 132. I think it's like 136. It's when Harry Osborn. How many copies do I need at 132? It's when Harry Osborn discovers Spider-Man's costume in a drawer. Here it is. And because they're roommates, and he discovers his roommate is Spider-Man, who's killed his father, and then he sets off a bomb to blow up Peter Parker, and he's coming back from a date with Mary Jane, and they almost get blown up. So that one I bought. 137. I don't think I bought that. I think I got 136, and then I think I came back for 139. There's issues in here I need to get. 140, this is definitely a childhood copy. Yeah. Okay. But I don't know that you want to look at all these Spider-Man comics, do you? You have them all, don't you? Spider-Man. Okay, what I'm trying to do is get these comics put in. So as I get into these next boxes, I should get to Swamp Thing, Time Warp. Let me put these in order. Sergeant Rock. Oh no, I have the War comics separated. That'll go in a different box over there. Too many stupid things I've done to make things complicated. Submariner goes before Swamp Thing, and True Believers goes after Time Warp. And those will be in boxes we get here in a second, but I need to stop my recording downstairs because I do not need to record 1990s cartoons. Okay. Well, today, the Super Bowl, Trump's going to have an interview before it. He's going to be there in attendance. Elon Musk may have commercials during the Super Bowl, which will be fun. Where are my glasses? Did I leave those? I left those. I know where they are. And David Wilcock's going to be on this afternoon, too, at 1 o'clock Central. Yeah, he's always fun to watch. Here's a little trading card that came with my little monster car I have. I need to put that with my other cards. Okay, what's in this box? Oh. I wound up with this little vamp. It's a like Casper and Hot Stuff, except it's a Vampirella as a little kid. It's kind of weird. Let me put that in here. These are my these are non-Warren Vampirella comics that I have in these independent boxes. Let me just file this. Okay. Oh, these books need to be filed too. Shoot. What is this? Oh, they wouldn't go in those boxes anyway, but... I had a little stack of Silver Age comics that I needed to file, and I don't see where that went. Oh, here it is. It got moved. Okay, we'll do that. We're getting this some Silver Age comics when we come back up. Oh, it went past Earthworm Jim to this terrible, I don't know what this is called, Static Shock.
Not here either.
Something unwatchable from the 90s. Let's see what the weather's like outside.
Oh, you noticed that?
Oh, I can tell it's a cold day. Man. Johnny Quest in Japanese. Oh well. Pretty cool. Not as good as the American theme, but... What else do I need to take upstairs? Oh, I need to put this Tarzan book back up. I had it out as reference. Hold on. Come on, it's hard to do this with one hand. Come on. Oh boy. There we go. Do you have lifelike hair? Okay.
Swirl from Star Wars Micro Collection line. Playsets also sold separately. Figures included. New from Kenner.
It is insanely cold outside. I think it's like 18 degrees outside.
Kenner's new Oscar Goldman with exploding briefcase.
I have a secret assignment for a $6 million man. It's in my briefcase. Careful, if it's open wrong, it'll stop this cup. Check video scanner. Possible contact headquarters. Your order, Steve. Hey, that's John Hance, the briefcase. Look out, it'll blow apart.
Oscar Goldman with exploding briefcase, $6 million man and Maskatron, each sold separately. Colonel Steve Austin, the $6 million man, and the new Bionic Transporter repair station.
Rocket's crashing. We'll put it in the Bionic repair station. Rebuild it. We'll replace the modules in the Bionic arm. No injury here. We'll have to check his eye. Bionic eye, A-OK. $6 million man, ready for action.
New Bionic Transporter repair station sold separately. The $6 million man, new from Kenner.
Juicy. Hey, how about a nice Hawaiian punch?
Sure.
What gives Hawaiian punch its punch? It's punch. It's punch. What gives Hawaiian punch its punch?
The fluffy natural fruit juices.
Hawaiian punch.
And now, Hawaiian punch comes in apple, too.
Now, Ideal's Battling Tops Championship. The contestants are winding their tops, getting into position, and the fight is on. Look at those tops.
I forgot there's a pause button. I could have just paused it. Sorry that I had to some housekeeping needs to take care of there. Got my glasses now.
Battling Tops from Ideal, the good game people.
Battling Tops was great. Okay, well, this is all taken care of down here, so let's go back up there. Far across the universe, where tribes of humans who may have been the forefathers of the Egyptians, or the Aztecs, or the Toltecs. Yes. So much organizing to do, so little time. Actually, this clock doesn't need to be here. This clock needs to be over there, because I gotta charge my phone, or this show's gonna end pretty darn quick. Okay. Whoa! That could have been the end of the show, man. Okay. Where would be a good place to put this Frank Miller Joker head? Let's. These are important, things that we have to decide here. Oh boy, all these thumbtacks spilled. I forgot about that problem. Whole bunch of thumbtacks spilled. That's gonna, nobody ought to go barefoot around here, but we don't have disgusting hippies up here, so we're not gonna have any barefoot people up here. But still don't want tacks all over your floor. My advice to you is if you spill a bunch of tacks, you should pick them up. First rule of comic book collecting. Lou, leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Except there's no sun today. It's gloomy and 18 degrees. Oh my gosh. My gosh. What's going wrong? Okay, I've got these I have Golden Age comics to file too. Someone was on the live stream yesterday asking me about good Western comics that are like the quality of EC, and I was trying to remember the name of this one comic. Might as well just get into some Golden Age comics. What the heck, guys? Let's do that. Let's do it, man. But it's hot up here. I need to turn the fan on. That's insane, I know. My wife was complaining that it was hot on the level right below us, and I said, well, I haven't been changing the heater. She was accusing me of, and I looked in where she asked where it was set. I said it's set at 69. Should I turn it to 67? She says, yes, it's too hot. I guess that's nothing to complain about, because the alternative is, what if it was the temperature it is outside? But up here in the attic, they say heat rises. I've heard scientists say that. And, scientists know everything. Okay, so let's look at these. Oh, boy. I should file this under Dell Angel. But But for right now, I'm just going to put it in here with the Golden Age, you know, and this is the same with this. Okay. So I don't have much old comics. What I do is in really 2 short boxes. I've got A Date with Judy, which is a popular radio program, and this is a comic book spinoff from that. Here's from National Superman DC Publications, All American Western number 107. 107. Okay. Animal Comics. This was a gift. Let me make sure I get it. Oh, it's from Captain Strangelove. Yeah, I recognize. I was thinking it was Captain Strangelove. It's got his handwriting on the back. It's Animal Comics from gift from Captain Strangelove. I think this came along with something else that I bought from him, and he sent me some free comics along with it. Or no, it might have been a contest I won on his one of his live streams. Ben Bowie and his Mountain Men. And I don't know why every I guess because when I was born, every time I see this, I hear, "Oh, Black Diamond." I hear the Kiss. I don't know why that is. But this is from Charles Biro. Pretty sure it's Biro. Meyer Greenblatt, the famous toy collector and YouTube YT influencer, taught me how to pronounce it. Because I think I was pronouncing it Biro, but I think it's Biro, and I could be wrong. From Lev Gleason Publications. So it looks a lot like Crime Does Not Pay with the little wordy balloons. It's wonderful. This is a Western I recommend. Whoever was asking me yesterday. I think it was Library 88 or something like that. Here's number 20. These are not expensive. Otherwise, I wouldn't own them. Because I'm not a rich man. Here's 23. Blazing West from ACG. I've got ACG books in a box over. Should I put this? Yeah, I think I might pull this and put it with the ACG books, because I actually have a box of these over here. Anyway, it's Blazing West number 8 if you have to go out and immediately buy it because you saw it here. This one is number 11, and every time I see this, they're in a stagecoach with this fancy beveled glass, but it looks like teeth to me, isn't it? This is a book everybody owns, but most people own it in better condition than I do. But I had it before a lot of other people. I had it first, but I have it worst. This is a great cover. It's not in very good condition, but bad. What is they say? It was in the Bible, right? Bad condition is better than worse. Bad condition is worse. No, bad condition is better than no condition. Yeah, like better to have it in shitty condition than to not have it. But yeah, that's what Ed Gein said. It's better to have these dead bodies around than to not have them around. What if they were just buried in the ground? I couldn't see my mom. But at least here, she's dead in a chair. I can see her. Norman Bates also had that philosophy. Here's Bugs Bunny, Hot Rod Hair. And here's Bugs Bunny going on the rocket to the moon. That just reminded me of Elon Musk. You know, because Elon Musk, I used to be ambivalent too. You know, I didn't really. It's like, who cares? Same thing with Donald Trump. But now I love these guys. But I remember. Do you remember when he put a Corvette into space? It was obvious. Anyone that watched it just like, oh, he's doing that because of the opening scene of the Heavy Metal animated movie from 1981. Obviously, he was a fan of that. He's just a fellow nerd, and he thought it'd be cool to have put like a mannequin in an astronaut suit in a vintage car. And yeah, it's real funny until some ancient astronaut comes back to visit and runs right into some car from 1960 floating, and then they get pissed and come back ready for war. Buster Brown, man, a giveaway at Stripling's, which was that was a department store in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, mainly Fort Worth. Yeah, this is from the Juvenile Shoe Department, 2nd floor, Fort Worth, Texas. That building, I think, is still there, the Stripling's building. Here's Candy. Yes, indeed. Here's Candy without a cover. Oh, yeah, I forgot I had this. This is probably a 9.8 candidate. Cave Girl, number 13. I've got a reprint of this. The cover is almost solid tape. It's just like, I've never seen that much tape on a... But, you know, the tape has survived. It hasn't burned into it, turned brown, fallen off. Whatever tape they used back in 1956 or whenever they taped this up, it could have been taped at any point. It could have been taped in the 60s, I don't know, 70s even. Okay, here's Crime Does Not Pay. One of these pre-code crime comics. I always love the teeth coming out there. Look at that. It's punching the guy's teeth out. That's All True Crime Stories, number 61. Number 65. People say I don't hold the comics up long enough for you. 114. The lights reflecting on the Mylar. How long do you guys need to look at it? You are all very strange people. Okay, here's 132. It's the story of Snooky Peters, man. Look at this magician on the back and this little smoking kid. Yeah, crime was all the rage, man. Here's Crime Fighters number 1. Dale Evans. This is DC. Dale Evans number 12. Yeah, these Dale Evans comics have good artwork in them. That's one without a cover, obviously. Dollman, number 15 from 1948. I don't have much of stuff like this, but what I have, I got from Mesa, Arizona's famous store, Gotham City Comics. Someday I should do a painting of this character, Singapore Sal, an enemy of Don Winslow of the Navy. I think she's has a very good design, and I've always wanted to do a painting of Princess Dragon Mom from the famous Inframan film of 1975. Actually, it could have been 76. Yeah, that might have been 76. I don't know. Great movie, though. Here's another Don Winslow of the Navy. Here's Dodo, Funny Animal Circus Stories. I never see anybody show this one on YT. YT. It's a fairy tale parade. Felix the Cat is over there in Cuba, about to get shot. Oh, look, it's a fiction house. Senorita Rio. Fight Comics, number 46. We need 47. 46, that's bad memories of Joe Biden. Here's number 80 with a great cover, and you can really see a lot of, I mean, if you told someone this is a Dave Stevens illustration, they'd probably believe you, because you see where Dave Stevens drew his inspiration. Foxhole 18. Why did they call him Chicken? Funny Animals, number 33. How about that? From Fawcett. And since it's almost Christmas, it's Gene Autry, December issue. He's all happy. Everybody's singing on the ranch. Here he's not happy. He's had to pull his gun out. Who knows who he's going to have to kill? Perhaps entire crowds of people will have to pay to the blood vengeance of Gene Autry. Geronimo, Indian Fighter, number 1, The Massacre at San Pedro Pass. Ooh. This one I got for probably $15. Don't tell anybody. I guess got it on eBay years ago. This is a big one now. This could be one of the biggest comics in my meager, kind of shitty, honestly, comic collection. It's Ghostly Weird Stories, number 123. How about that? I should paint something like that. Okay, then we move on. Dick Ayers, a fantastic artist. Man, I gotta study how they draw the female face, man. I gotta get better. From Emmy Magazine Enterprises, it's Ghost Rider, number something. They don't have the issue number on that. Oh, my wife is saying, hope you're having fun. Uh-oh, I gotta see what's going on with her. Sounds like maybe she's not doing well. Let me go check.